Background: I was working for a consulting company that had hired me after half a year of unemployment. I had over 5 years of experience in my field, yet they were only going to pay me as a junior because of a gap in my resume. This gap existed because of trying to start my own business and failing spectacularly at it. I did not want that on my resume. I had to basically grit my teeth and accept, hoping they would see my worth and give me a raise. Yeah, I know how that sounds. After about a year I was done with that line of working. I had to switch projects a lot, which included new locations that were a big commute. I hated it. I started looking for a more stable job, and I found one pretty quickly. Interviews were going well. I was close to sign a contract when a colleague of mine called me, asking if I'd be interested to come work on the same project as he was. I confided in him that I would be quitting soon and told him which company I was moving to. Big mistake. He starts panicking and tells me they used to work with that company. There could be a contract that forbids this company from stealing me away, as it were, because consultancies don't like it when their clients steal their employees. There was talk about fines too, big fines. I could be in a crap storm if I wasn't careful. I had to talk to both my current boss and the new company and ask them if they were absolutely sure that it was okay for me to switch jobs. This was awkward in itself, but I felt like I had done my due diligence and would let them figure it out. I was asking to be kept in the loop because I had the right to be. This did not happen. I called and mailed, but either got ghosted or received a reply stating we will let you know when we know more. This is where I got a bit petty. You see, I had learned my lesson about telling people about my job prospects. There was another company very interested in me, but they were a bit on the slow side. I had not told anyone about this. As fate would have it, they made me an offer right when I was being ghosted by both the other and my current company. This offer was great. It was basically a no-brainer. I called them and told them I will accept. We agreed on a meeting, and that 1 hour after this, I got a phone call from my company saying they had come to an agreement with the other company. I could switch jobs, but there was one condition. I had to finish the month at the current client. However, the month had just started, and I only had to give a 2-week notice. They basically did not include me on any of these talks, and then decided that I would just do something I'm not required to do according to my contract. None of them even informed or asked me if I even wanted to do this. I could have been the bigger man and said, yeah sure, I will finish the month, but then I'm actually switching to another company which is paying me more. Sorry. Instead, I told them what I thought about their practices, told them I would be switching to another company, that they wasted their time because they didn't keep me informed, and that my 2-week notice would be in the mail. I got a mail about an exit interview, but funnily enough that never took place. I wonder why. Been working at that new company for over 3 years now. So it all started about 20 years ago sometime, when I was between 5 to 7. It was Christmas Eve and my family went out to see Christmas lights. We get home, and my mom is the first inside, and when I get in she tells me to hurry, that Santa came and left me an early present. I open it, and to my complete shock it was a few pieces of charcoal, and that really made me upset, because I thought I was bad, but I saw my mom laughing, and she told me it was a joke. Well, fast forward 20 plus odd years later, and I finally figured out the proper payback for that event. You see, my mom is that person who has those live, laugh, love, faith, friends, family type of decorations throughout the house. I'm religious myself, but she takes it a whole step further. Well, one day I was in the bathroom washing my hands when I looked in the mirror and noticed the words evil on the wall. I turned around, and it was one of her life signs. In that moment I told my mom to look in the bathroom and see if she notices anything in the reflection. I pointed out to her, and she immediately takes the sign down and puts it in the small bin. Naturally I decided to take it out and put it in random places, and she'd noticed it and put it back in the bin until she had my dad take it to the outside garbage. That's when it hit me. I waited a few hours, then snuck out and retrieved the sign from the garbage can. It's been about 6 months or so, and I've kept it in the trunk of my car ever since. I forgot about it until the other day, and with Christmas going up around the corner and having a shower thought, I'm going to take that sign, wrap it up, and give it to my mom telling her Santa came early when we get back from seeing lights this year. After she opens it, I will say so. Remember that time Santa left me coal? I think this will be the definition of petty, getting revenge on a funny incident that happened 2 decades ago that I never forgot about. This story is from my sophomore year in high school. I had apparently taken a Spanish class a year later than everyone else, as I was the only sophomore. I sat behind this freshman who would take the carrots and apple I had on my desk. I didn't eat during lunch because it gave me something to do in class. Anyway, he would take them both every day, and I just quietly asked him for them back, which he wouldn't. He would reach back, try to touch, or grab my head as a way of messing with me, I guess. One day, during lunch with the support of a friend, we took an apple into the public school bathroom, dipped into the urinals, rolled it on the ground, and dumped it into a toilet, where someone forgot to flush their crap. Put it on my table and he ate it down to the seed. I always think to myself, hey, there goes crap apple, when I see him. 1 me crap apple 0. Not the most exciting of stories, but I'm too proud of myself not to share. I'm unfortunate enough to often have to work with different companies to help them improve on their security. This often means I deal with people who believe they know everything. I have a particularly fond memory of such an occasion. I'd been working with a company for around 2 months when they hired a new team lead for their security team. Upon first meeting her, I was given a 30-minute speech on all the huge companies she's worked for, how she's been doing security for longer than I've been alive. I'm 26, so pretty impressive, since she was 30 at most, and just how she knew more than everyone in general. I put up with days and days of her telling me how I should be doing my job, none of which was correct, and how she has done this work for much bigger companies. Eventually I decided to get some payback. We'd been instructed to join a meeting with the company's CEO and full board meeting to tell them of the security work that I'd been conducting. In the lead up to said meeting, I ran the unbearable woman through the work I'd been doing and what would happen next so that she could present it to the board as her work. Little did she know I'd spent the entire time hiding small mistakes in her presentation. Not huge ones that she'd spot, but just small errors that would need correcting. With a smile on my face, I strolled into that meeting and took great pleasure in calling out every single one of the errors in her work. After 10 minutes, the CEO asked if I'd like to finish it off, as it appeared I knew what I was talking about. I thought she would explode with how red she had gone. I finished off the presentation and thankfully never had to go back. I heard she was let go a month later after telling the CEO she'd managed bigger companies than his. I live in a downtown apartment complex in a very bicycle-friendly country. Next door is a discount gym. The entrance to my building is a room with mailboxes, separated by a glass wall from the outside. A second door that requires a key to open grants access to the rest of the building. The front door opens automatically from 6 o'clock until 1800 hours. Outside of those hours you need a key or you can be bussed in using the intercom. Both windows on either side of the front door have "Don't park your bike here" signs on them. I'm guessing from risk of breaking the window, but that's not my grievance. There is ample bike parking. They might have to walk 50 meters though. Pardon my long vague way of describing, but it's kind of important to the story. Gym goers have been parking there because moped scooters in front of our building. It's a 5-meter walk to the gym from there. It's understandable. I had zero issue with that until the amount of parked bikes etc got so large that I had to start moving them out of the way to be able to access the front door keyhole at least once a week. A couple of months ago, after working late, I got annoyed by another bicycle obstacle preventing me from crashing down on the couch. As petty revenge, I moved the bike inside, in full view behind the glass window, but no way to get inside without a key or asking to be bussed in. It's petty but still feels like such good stress relief after a day's work. I have been doing that for a couple of months now. Whenever there are obstacles parked in my way from accessing my front door, I wondered if other people might have got wind of it, since I started seeing bikes parked there inside more and more. and not in the aisle. Put it here for an evening to the side against the wall way, but on full display in front of the window. Almost store display like. I just had confirmation it has spread. My doorbell rang, and over the intercom I was desperately asked to open the front door so he could get his bike from inside. He just got out of the gym and his bike was parked inside. I didn't put it there, 2 other people had already hung up on him. I promptly did the same. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like and a comment would mean a lot in YouTube's world. Share with us if you would have done things differently, and don't forget to support the original authors with an upvote. Links are in the description. Peace out, and catch you tomorrow.